The year my skin hunger was at its worst, I sponsored a pretty boy university student. The moment I finally got him into bed, I found something unexpected. He'd put a lock on his underwear. As I stared, utterly baffled, a line of text floated before my eyes. LMAO. To save his first time for the female lead, the male lead is actually wearing a chastity cage. I'm dead. The key is with the female lead. The villainess isn't shameless enough to force him. Right, she's Northwood U's infamous boy collector. After all, the old woman won't give up until she's had a taste. I just smiled, said nothing, and cancelled Tristan Vale's black card. Then, I went straight to the university's online forum and posted, seeking a new puppy $20,000 a month. Some melancholy Casanova, please. I'm the boy whisperer. It started 6 months ago, when my best friend introduced me to a university student. Northwood University's golden boy, she'd said, a face worthy of the silver screen and a body that put male models to shame. I was skeptical at first, but the moment I saw Tristan Vale, I was done for. I pursued him diligently for 3 months. I didn't just pay off his family's debt, I also covered his grandmother's mounting medical bills. His voice was cool, tinged with a stubborn pride. Consider it a loan. I'll pay you back for everything one day. I ignored the IOU he tried to hand me, just propped my chin on my hand and watched him with a smile. I told him I wasn't short on cash. Tristan froze for a second, then his face turned ashen as understanding dawned. I'm not for sale. The edges of his eyes reddened, his pride trampled. He looked like he was about to shatter. I thought for a moment, then decided to change my approach. Then, can I ask you to be my boyfriend? Tristan's ears flushed crimson under my scorching gaze. He nodded. I grinned, stood on my toes, and pecked him on the lips. I was ready to drag him to a hotel right then and there. He recoiled, pushing me away before stammering an excuse about a part-time job and fleeing in a panic. After that, I pestered him every day, asking when we could finally get a room, but Tristan was surprisingly traditional, holding firm to his principles. He insisted the proper order of a relationship was holding hands, hugging, kissing, and only then, intimacy. I countered, but I usually that's not called a relationship. Tristan cut me off, his voice cold. I am your first love. Got it, fine, whatever you say. Good-looking people always get special privileges. I'd planned to follow his pace, to take things slow, but on my birthday, the skin hunger hit hard. The craving was a tidal wave, more ferocious than ever before. Heat consumed me, an uncontainable thirst clawing up from my soul. I forced myself to text Tristan. The moment he stepped through the door, I had him pressed against the wall in the entryway, kissing him everywhere. As my hand slid from his chest to his firm abdomen, a soft sigh escaped my lips. Baby, you're so hard right here. The hand on my waist tightened abruptly. Tristan's gaze dropped, his dark eyes churning with desire. He bit his lower lip, silent. Lust and logic were at war within him. A small smile played on my lips. Time to add a little fuel to the fire. I pushed him into the bedroom and onto the bed, straddling him and sinking my teeth into his neck. Tristan's Adam's apple had a mole I'd been lusting after for ages, but he never let me touch it. This time, I seized the opportunity and kissed my fill. His throat bobbed, his breathing growing heavier by my ear. I lifted my head, meaning to capture his lips, but he caught the back of my neck with one hand. Why did you choose me? His voice trembled, as if he was finally asking a question that had been buried in his heart for a long time. Because you're beautiful. I said it without a second thought. Just because of this face. Well, what else? I sensed something was wrong with that sentence, my voice trailing off as my eyes met his dark, intense gaze. His lips crushed down on mine, a kiss more ferocious than any before. You're hurting me. Gentler. I beat against his chest, but he only invaded more forcefully. Seeing my pleas were useless, I fought back, my hands moving to strip off his clothes. The moment my fingers touched the fabric at his waist, Tristan abruptly released me. Clarity returned to his eyes in an instant. A rare flash of anxiety crossed his face as he clutched his belt buckle, refusing to let go, but I was too lost in lust to notice. I just kept pulling at his pants, coaxing him in my most predatory tone. Don't be scared, baby. I'll take good care of you. Just let go for me. All right. Under my sweet persuasion, Tristan finally relented. He closed his eyes and turned his head away, silently permitting what was to come. The pants were mercilessly tossed to the floor. I was about to get to business when the sight before me made me choke. It was more substantial than I'd imagined. But can someone please tell me what this black leather, birdcage-like triangle thing is? There was a small, black and gold padlock on the waistband. Is this some new kind of sex toy? Before I could study it further, a few lines of text floated before my eyes. I'm dying. To save his first time for the female lead, he's actually wearing a chastity cage. I'm crying. He even gave the key to the female lead. Is this not a declaration of his loyalty? I love this chaste puppy. LMAO. The cannon fodder. Dylanus is stunned. She really thought the male lead liked her. Little does she know she's just a tool to make the main couple jealous. Ugh. This puppy belongs to the female lead. This old woman isn't actually thinking of forcing him, is she? The commentary was buzzing. From their snippets, I pieced together the truth. I was living in a novel. Tristan Vale was the male lead, and the female lead was his childhood sweetheart, Penelope Reed, and I was just a minor cannon fodder character. Because I repeatedly used money to humiliate the male lead during his downfall, I was destined to have my company bankrupted. I'd end up begging on the streets, only to be assaulted and killed by homeless men. Meanwhile, the female lead who stood by Tristan through his hardships became the love of his life. To put it simply, I was just a stepping stone on their path to love. Tristan lay naked on the bed, still in the same position, but my heart felt like it had been doused with ice water. My earlier passion was replaced by a chilling calm. I reached for his waist, my index finger tapped lightly on the black and gold lock, and the body beneath me arched and trembled. A sexy gasp reached my ears. Before, this would have driven me wild, but now, I couldn't muster an ounce of interest. What's this? You locked it up because you don't want me to touch? I asked him deliberately. Tristan turned his head away, refusing to look at me. He bit his lower lip so hard, his silent endurance made him look like a virtuous maiden being forced against his will. I let out a self-deprecating laugh and got off the bed. Tristan seemed confused. He hesitantly crawled to the edge of the bed and gently tugged on the corner of my clothes. What's wrong? Nothing. I just suddenly don't feel like it anymore. I tossed his clothes at him, my tone flat. Tristan's face instantly turned deathly pale. Did I do something wrong? I opened my mouth, 100 retorts swirling on my tongue, but none came out. In the end, I just patted his shoulder and recited the classic breakup line. Don't overthink it. I'm just a little tired today. The air fell silent, broken only by the soft rustle of him getting getting dressed. The moment he fastened the last button, I started shooing him out. Don't you have that part-time job? If there's nothing else, you should go. I called in sick. Can I spend the night with you for your birthday? Tristan pulled me into his arms and bit my lip hard. Before I could resist, he let go, acting as if nothing happened, and carried the groceries into the kitchen. A moment later, he peeked his head out, mentioning casually, by the way, there's something on the living room table for you. Don't forget to look. What now? Trying to be mysterious, I grumbled internally but walked over anyway. In the center of the living room was a small wooden box. Before I could open it, the phone resting beside it rang. It was Tristan's. The name, Penelope Reed, flashed on the screen. The screen went dark and lit up again, the ringing incessant. Finally, Tristan pushed open the kitchen door, asking with a hint of confusion, why didn't you answer? I stood motionless, my gaze following his every move. Tristan picked up the phone but didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked up at me, then quietly slipped out onto the balcony. The commentary reappeared. Here comes the climax. The female lead was drugged at a club and is hiding in the bathroom, waiting for the male lead to come get her. Tonight's the night they confess their love and go at it like rabbits. The female lead won't be able to get out of bed for days. He. The puppy is about to be unlocked. Hope the villainess is smart enough not to interrupt the lovebirds. The balcony door slid open. Tristan's face was dark, his deep eyes flashing with a furious light. When his gaze met mine, he forced himself to rein in his anger, his voice apologetic. Rosalind, something urgent came up with my grandmother. I have to go. Don't worry, I'll be back as soon as I'm done. I just might not make it back for dinner. I propped my chin on my hand, completely uninterested. Yet, just as he was about to leave, I called out to him on a strange impulse. Did you give the key to Penelope Reed? What? Tristan's brow furrowed, as if he didn't understand. Suddenly, I felt a wave of profound pointlessness wash over me and just waved my hand. Nothing, just go. The sound of the door closing plunged the room back into silence. I looked at the small wooden box in my hand, my curiosity completely gone. I casually pulled open a drawer in the coffee table and shoved it into the very back. Opening my phone, I sent Tristan one last message. Don't come back here.